You're ready to create your very first digital product for your ideal customer, but you don't think you have all of the steps in place that you need to. Well, stay tuned because today I'm going to introduce you to my digital product creation framework, and it'll take all of the mystery out of what you need to do. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rhonda M. Jordan, and I teach women how to monetize the knowledge and skills that they already have so they can build successful and profitable online businesses. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my digital product creation framework. Now, the great thing about this particular framework is it's going to give you a roadmap so that you'll be able to create a digital product for your ideal customer confidently and easily. Now, the great thing about using an actual framework like this is it's going to give you a roadmap from start to finish of what it is you need to do in order to plan, prepare, and create your digital product so that you'll have something that your ideal customer is going to absolutely love and be able to use so that they can experience a transformation by learning one of your concepts or helping them solve a problem or giving them a solution to something that they've been searching for. So let's go ahead and get started. Jumping right into the framework, the very first step of this 6-step framework is all about identifying two things. One is your niche, and the second is going to be your ideal customer avatar, or ICA for short. Now let me briefly explain each of these because I do have more in-depth videos that will explain each of them. Let's talk first about your niche. Now your niche is going to be a specific segment within a larger area of interest. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to focus in on fitness. Well, fitness is a huge area, so you have to really niche down so that you can attract your audience. And let's say your niche becomes women baby boomers over the age of 50 who have interest in doing low impact exercises. Now that is a very specific niche because you're talking about, first of all, women only. Secondly, you're talking about people who are over the age, women who are over the age of 50 and that are interested in low impact exercises. So you could create an entire community just around that. Now, the second thing that you need to identify is your ICA, or your ideal customer. Now, your ideal customer is going to be a member of that community, but a very specific individual. And the reason why you want to get very specific on your ideal customer is it kind of helps you get inside of their mind by knowing things such as their interests, the things they're struggling with, their perhaps their financial situation. And the reason why that's important is it's going to let you know whether or not they have the financial means to purchase products that you create at the specific price point that you're interested in creating them. Now, the reason why it is very important that you identify these two areas, niche as well as your ICA, is it's really going to help you hone in on the types of struggles that are occurring within the particular niche and with that particular individual. See, whenever you're able to really hone in on specific things as opposed to talking in generalities, you're going to attract a very niche down version of the larger population. So for example, we're no longer talking just women that you're interested in attracting. We're talking about a very specific area within there. So now you can think about the things that they're struggling with, and that's going to help you create products that they'll be interested in and that certainly can help them get to the solutions for the problems that they're looking to solve. So don't skip this step. You definitely need to identify your niche and you need to identify your ideal customer within that niche. The second part of the framework is all about identifying problems that your ICA is struggling with. The reason why this part of the framework is so important is it's going to give you an endless amount of content that you'll be able to create and subsequently digital products that you'll be able to offer for sale. Here's how you'll go about identifying the problems. You're going to conduct a brainstorm session. So the very first thing that you want to do is take about 10 to 15 minutes, take out a clean sheet of paper or open up a document within your computer, laptop, or cell phone, and just simply start listing out the issues that you believe your ICA struggles with. So just make a list. This is not the time to do anything other than just get ideas jotted down. Another way that you can do this after you complete your brainstorm session is go to social media and look for places where your ICA hangs out. Specifically, look for groups that they might be in. Also, you can go, for example, over to Instagram and look at some of the accounts that your ICA might follow. And what you're going to be doing is looking for questions that are coming up, look for products that are being created that are, perhaps not quite filling the need that your ICA has. You're also going to hop over to, let's say, Amazon and put in, some of the things that you think they might be struggling with. Put that into the search bar and look for books that might be written on the topic. Now you might be thinking, well, why would I be looking for products that have already been created or books that have been written? Well, the reason for it is that is telling you it's really the proof of concept. It lets you know that if books and products have already been written on this subject, then there is obviously a need for it. But understand this, no one is ever going to create the product exactly the same way that you would. And remember, we're also looking for holes that might be missing in the specific products that are already in the market. So to summarize, you're going to do a brainstorm session. You're going to go to social media and look for places where your ICA hangs out and look for questions they're asking, or for example, products that have already been created. Look at those particular products as well as books on Amazon and look for things that you could either do better, you could add to, you could build on, whatever the case is. Now, you're never going to take anyone's idea. You're just simply looking for proof of concept and a little bit of inspiration. Now, once you have this brainstorm list completed, as well as your other items from Amazon and the social media detective work that you're doing, you want to keep this list very handy because you're going to be referring back to it over and over and over again, because from this point, you're going to have a place now that you'll be able to go each and every time you're ready to create a piece of content or whenever you're ready to create additional digital products. If you're getting value out of the information being shared about the digital product creation framework, I'd love for you to give this video a thumbs up. That way, it'll be shown to more individuals by the YouTube algorithm that can benefit from the information being shared. Also, if you're planning to create a digital product, leave me a comment below and let me know what type of digital product you're planning to create. The third part of the digital product creation framework is all about deciding. Now, what you're going to do is go to the list of ideas that you have written down from your brainstorm session, from questions you found on social media, from Amazon books that you may have looked at. It's important that when you go to this list that you identify something that you already have solved yourself. So when you go through the list, you're looking for one of the challenges that you yourself have dealt with, and you know for a fact that you can solve it because you've already overcome it. If you have found something like this, then you are well on your way to being able to create a digital product because you already have the solution. And all you're going to do then is get that solution ready so it can be put into a format that can be offered to your ICA. In the previous step, you decided on the problem you're going to solve. In this step, you're going to provide the solution. And this is going to be really pretty simple for you to do simply because you've already done it. The way that you're going to provide the solution is by number one, you're going to outline it. So what you want to think about is, what did you do first? What did you do second, third, and so on. So it's important that you outline your solution in such a way that it is easy to understand, simple to implement, and by the time your ICA does all of the steps, they are at the solution. So this is where you're going to take people from problem to solution in a series of sequential steps. Now, it's important that you take some time when you're doing this, because you don't want to leave out any steps, and you want to make sure that you run this by someone else that is somewhat familiar with your topic, and let them see if they follow the steps in the order that you've laid them out, if they will get to the solution. And if they can replicate by simply following your steps, then you can feel very confident that you haven't missed anything. So do not skip any steps in this process, because this is going to be really the basis of your entire digital product. The next step in the digital product creation framework is all about deciding on the format that you're going to use for your digital product. So based upon having outlined the information, now it's time for you to think about how is it going to best be presented. So let me give you a few examples of ways that you might present your digital product. You might decide that it is best in print format. So that might mean something like creating a PDF. It also might be best presented as either a video or perhaps an audio, maybe even a course. That might be another option for you. It might also be something like a 5-day challenge. And yes, you can charge for a 5-day challenge. So I want you to think in terms of, how is this going to be best received by your ICA, and what's going to be the best way for them to understand the information so that they get to the solution in the easiest and the shortest possible time frame. So give that some thought and think about other products out there and how they've best been presented. And again, we want to always be a little bit different or provide something that people are currently not getting, and you want to put it into your voice. So perhaps video might be the best option, or perhaps something that people can read through. You really have to just kind of think that through and figure out what the best option is going to be. Maybe you even come up with 2 different formats and just ask a few people within your target audience which way they would prefer receiving the information if they were purchasing your digital product. The final step in the digital product creation framework is all about giving your digital product a great title. Now, this is an important step and you cannot afford to skip it. And you don't want to just, gloss over it, because the title of your digital product is going to be your ICA's first exposure to your product. So that might be the thing that allows them to stop and check it out, or simply keep scrolling. You want to keep in mind 2 things when you are coming up with a title for your digital product. The first thing is the title should be captivating. It should be worthy of them stopping their scroll in order to check it out and learn more. So it's important that it's very clear to the individual who stops to check out the title that it's for them, that it's perhaps a problem or something that they're struggling with. And then the second thing you want to make sure of is that the title is representative of the solution that you're going to be providing via this digital product. We never want to put people in a situation where they purchase one of our products and it doesn't do anything that the title suggested it would do. If that happens, people are going to feel misled and they're going to walk away from that digital product and perhaps will never do business with you again. So it is very important that you take some time to come up with a title that is going to grab their attention and one that's definitely going to solve the problem that your title suggests it's going to solve. Now, in order to help you out, one of the things that I've done is I have a free resource that you can grab where it gives you 31 examples of titles for your digital product. So what you're going to be able to do with this resource is read some examples of great titles and then play around with it to come up with the title that's going to work best for your particular digital product. So click the link below and you'll be able to get your copy of the title examples. You've made it through all of the steps to the digital product creation framework. Now all that's left is for you to put the steps into action and create your very first digital product. If you do that, what you're going to find is that simply by putting together a product that you can put out into the marketplace, you're going to increase your authority, and it's also going to let people within your audience, your ICA, get to know your teaching style as well as get to know you as an individual. And naturally, this is going to help you to grow your audience as well. What I suggest you do is as you are going through the process of creating your first digital product, make sure that you re-watch this video so that you don't leave out any of the steps that are going to be necessary in order for you to create the very best digital product that you can. Secondly, I also want to suggest that you allow 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 individuals to go through your digital product, and maybe you do so either in exchange for a testimonial about your product or give it to them at a very discounted price. The whole point is we want them to go through the product and make sure that another set of eyes is really on that product first before it is released to the greater market as a whole. You're looking for things like spelling errors, grammar errors. You're making sure that the information is clear and concise, and you're also making sure that by someone else going through it and following the steps as outlined, that they can get the results that your title and that the solution that you are promising them up front in your digital product says they're going to get. It's just a great business practice to have other individuals take a look at your product to make sure that anything that could be caught is caught before you release your product to your audience as a whole. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you'll be notified each time I post a new video where I teach you how to start, build, and scale a successful and profitable business. Additionally, make sure to watch this video next where I teach you 5 ways that you can sell your digital products without the need for a website. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.